Hello and welcome to the MA program in Women's and Gender Studies. Today we are here to introduce you to the program and tell you a little bit about what to expect once you get enrolled. I am Professor Anu Aneja. I am a faculty member in the School of Gender and Development Studies at IGNOU, and I am one of the program coordinators for this program, and along with me here is Dr. Nilima Srivastava. She is also a program coordinator for the MA program in Women's and Gender Studies. So, let us start by taking a look at the eligibility and objectives for this program.
Eligibility for this master's degree program is the same as for other master's program in the university, which is bachelor's degree in any discipline. And the objectives of this program is to acquire conceptual and analytical knowledge in women's and gender studies with specialization in gender, literature, culture or women's studies.
These are some of the career paths that you can expect to take up once you complete the MA program. Many of our learners prefer to go into higher education and pursue further degrees either in women's studies, gender studies or some allied discipline or area. Others may already be doing teaching or research or may like to go into the teaching and research field. There are several jobs available also in non-governmental organizations or NGOs as we call them, and these types of programs are particularly helpful if you are looking at a career in NGOs or if you are already employed in an NGO. The private and public sector, there are many openings these days because gender, as we all know, is a very relevant topic in today's society. So, there are a variety of jobs available in various sectors where an understanding of gender issues is required. Also, people may like to go into counseling services or may already be doing such work and would like to have a theoretical and conceptual knowledge of this area. Then media and journalism present a variety of opportunities for learners of women's and gender studies. You could go into journalism, you could go into television journalism, advertising, etc., and then a lot of working professionals who are already employed in either journalism or in many other areas such as medicine, law, psychology, teaching, etc. People find that today an understanding of gender issues is almost a necessity rather than an addition. So, these are some of the areas that you can look at in terms of the career paths.
Now, to talk about the duration, the program is for 2 years, which can be completed in maximum 5 years duration. The total credit structure is 64, which is divided into 4 semesters of 32 credits per year, which will be divided into 2 semesters. So, we have 32 plus 32 and 2 credits for the project work, which each and every learner has to undertake to get a PG diploma or a degree for this course. The project work, as it shows, this is for 2 credits and is compulsory, which has to be taken up after the course on research.
We provide various methods of contact with our learners. The first one, of course, is the mainstay of all of our distance learning programs, which are counseling sessions which are held at the study centers, sometimes at the regional centers, mostly at the study centers where you will be registered for the program. We also provide contact through teleconferencing sessions where you can either go to the regional center and interact with us via a television set, or you can also see it on a computer screen, and that is also available in an interactive mode. Similarly, we have radio counseling through radio programs where also learners can call in with their queries or questions, and we would be having programs on specific topics related to the courses that you would be taking. E-groups and online discussion forum has been set up specifically for this program. In the online discussion forum, we will be posting regularly certain topics or questions for you to think about, and learners are encouraged to respond to those queries or raise their own queries and even discuss certain topics with each other. So, all of that will be available on the online discussion forum, and of course, other audio visual aids such as video programs, audio programs, which we will be uploading on the online forum or on the IGNOU website. So, you will be able to access that through the internet.
Evaluation is both continuous and term end examination. Continuous assessment has 30% weightage, whereas term end examination 70% weightage. What do we call continuous examination or continuous assessment is which is done through the assignments which you submit for a particular course, and term end examination is same as for any other university, an examination which is held at the end of each semester where you are supposed to write your answers and being evaluated. The project work which has to be completed after the completion of the third semester has a component which we are going to discuss later, but let me talk to you about the assignment exams first. You have to complete and submit your given assignment within the given time period. You have to first of all organize your ideas about how you are going to work on your assignment. Then you assimilate your thought process and also the material that you can use to write an answer. Then think and write clearly, so that at the time of looking at the assessment sheet, it is clear to the counselor as to what is the intention with which you have jotted down your ideas.
Now, let us talk about the modular structure which we mentioned at the beginning. There is a modular structure to this MA program, which essentially means that the first year curriculum is identical to our PG diploma in Women's and Gender Studies, which we also offer. If students are registered for the MA program, once they complete the first year curriculum, they can then exit with a PG diploma if they decide that they do not want to immediately complete the entire MA program for whatever reason. You can also later on come back to the second year of the MA program. If you decide to complete the entire MA program, then in the second year you will be able to choose one of two specializations, either in gender literature and culture or in women's studies. For the credit transfer, if you have completed the first year, you can bank your credits, which means 34 credits which are required for the PG diploma in Women's and Gender Studies, and those 34 credits consist of 4 8-credit courses plus the 2-credit project work component. If you bank those 34 credits and you then take a break for employment or any other reason and you decide to come back later, as long as you have completed the first year curriculum, that is the PG diploma, within the last 3 years, that is the most recent 3 years before taking readmission into the MA program, you will be able to enter the MA program in the second year. So, that gives you a lateral entry into the MA in Women's and Gender Studies, and that is what we mean by the credit transfer option.
Now, to tell you about the structure of MA in Women's and Gender Studies, as Professor Aneja just told you that there is an exit option after completion of first year of this program, after which you will be earning a postgraduate diploma. But if you want to continue, and which we would like you to continue in the second year, then you have to opt one of the two options or specializations that we are offering in the second year. The first specialization is gender literature and culture, which is more suited for students who are coming from humanities stream, and women's studies specialization, which is more structured for learners who are coming from social sciences stream. So, first year courses are same for both MA and PG diploma in Women's and Gender Studies. So, you will be required to study 4 courses: MWG 001, which is Theories in Women's and Gender Studies. Second is MWG 002, Gender and Power. Third is MWG 003, constructing gender through arts and media, and the fourth and the last one is MWG 004, which is gender, bodies and sexualities.
Let's now look at the very first course, MWG 001, Theories and Concepts of Women's and Gender Studies. This is a foundational course and it has a lot of interdisciplinary content. It is a foundational course because it is essential that learners understand the historical context and the social context for women's movements and feminist movements, which have led to this whole discipline of women's and gender studies because of existing theories and debates. So, we will be examining movements, theories and debates in this first course within not only the Indian context, but also within international context. So, you would learn about women's movements in India and women's movements in the West in the 19th and 20th centuries. You will also learn about various types of feminist theories and debates within these theories. And also we will do intersectional study, which means that gender cannot be studied alone or in isolation, but gender has to be looked at in the context of other forms of discrimination based on whatever they may be, such as caste, class, sexuality, race, etc. So, this is what the first course attempts to do for you. Let us look at the course structure for MWG 001. There are 6 blocks for this course, and for each course you will be getting a book, that is one book will contain 6 blocks. So, for instance, for MWG 001 you would get a book such as this, which contains 6 blocks, and for MWG 002 Gender and Power, this book will contain 4 blocks. So, that is what we mean by a block. And within a block you will have units, and those units are like chapters. So, in the first course, as I said, 6 blocks: history of movements, women and movements and women in movements, queer liberation, feminist critiques of knowledge, feminist theories and queer theory. So, these are various blocks, and within these blocks then again you will have chapters.
MWG 002 Gender and Power. This is a course which will introduce you to the concepts of gender and also how power operates in our society through various channels or through various media, which may be through culture or religion, traditions, customs, values, or through the yardsticks of morality. The course structure is like this, that again the course has 4 blocks which covers the entire curriculum for this particular course on gender and power. The first block covers concepts related to gender and power. Second block talks about gender and other structural inequalities like class, caste and communalism, etc., etc. Whereas the third block focuses on gender, state and community, that what is the relationship of state and community vis-a-vis gender. And fourth block focuses on gender and the various institutions that operate within the society.
Now, let us look at the 2 other courses which you will be reading in the second semester of the first year. These are MWG 003 and MWG 004. Let us start with MWG 003, Constructing Gender through Arts and Media. This course discusses the polemics of gender in arts and media. Specifically, it looks at gender in cinema, in performance, in theatre, in painting and sculpture, in journalism, cyberspace and architecture. So, these are some of the focal points that we will be looking at from a critical gender perspective in this course. This course has 4 blocks. Gender and literature is the first, gender, film and cinema is the second, gender and performativity and visualizing gender. So, it will cover the entire gamut of literature and the arts, as you can see, with literature, film, performing arts such as theatre, dance, etc., and the visual arts such as painting and sculpture. All of these various forms will be covered in this course. The fourth course, MWG 004, is gendered bodies and sexualities. This course looks at the representations of the body, not only the female body but also the male body, and how the gendered body has been represented throughout the centuries, and how now from a feminist perspective we can look critically at some of these representations. It will also talk about the whole notion of gendered bodies, concepts and theories, sexualities and cultures. The course structure: block 1 on embodiment, block 2 on abled bodies and disability. So, here you will look at the whole notion of the disabled body versus the abled body, but again from a feminist perspective. Block 3 is on the mother's body, where you will read about reproduction and reproductive technologies and the whole notion of mothering, also from a psychoanalytical point of view, feminist critique of mothering. And block 4 is on sexual cultures, which will look at sexualities from the perspective of myth and also from a historical and cultural perspective. Let us look at the research project aspect. If you opt for the research project, these would be the steps that you would need to complete for approval of the project and for completing it. The very first thing to do, of course, is go through your course material and look at something that specifically interests you or that you are fascinated by, or something that you think is worth researching. Then you choose a topic which is related to the course material. It can be from any of the courses that you have studied in the for the master's degree. Once you have chosen a topic, then you submit a brief project proposal, which is about 1 to 3 pages, and you send it to us along with the pro forma. You will find the pro forma in the program guide for the MA program, and the pro forma is called approval of research project. Once we receive your pro forma, one of the faculty members who specializes in that particular area will take a look at it, and we will get back to you with suggestions, if any, and in case your project is approved, we will let you know that now you can go ahead with your research. Try to keep the project title clear, short and specific, because if the project title is focused, that will help you to keep the entire research project very focused. Once you have completed the research project, then you submit it to us along with another pro forma, which is the declaration of research project form, which also you will find in the program guide.
Talking about the second year courses, that is that we are starting with the third semester, in which the first course which you will be taking up is research methods. Then 3 other courses according to the specializations will be provided to you. So, either you can go for gender, literature, culture, which will have courses MWG 006, 007, 008, or you choose to go for women's studies specialization, which will entail 3 courses again, MWG 009, 010 or 011. Talking about MWG 005, which is research methods, course is divided into 5 blocks. The first block, which talks about conventional research paradigms and how feminist and gender based research is different from conventional research, is being dealt with the first block. The second block deals about various aspects related to qualitative research, where you will be talking about subjectivity, reflexivity, how the data collection takes place. Quantitative research, in which various aspects related to quantitative research is being discussed, starting from macro data sets, survey method, and what are the different ways of conducting research under the rubric of quantitative research. The next block is basically about language representation and feminist approaches of carrying research. The last block discusses designing a research project.
In the second year, as we have said, there are 2 specializations. So, you can either opt for the gender, literature and culture specialization, or you can opt for the women's studies specialization. For those opting for the gender, literature and culture specialization, let us look at the courses that you would be needing to complete. These are MWG 006, the gendered nation, MWG 007, postmodernism and gender, and MWG 008, gender and life narratives. MWG 006, gendered nation, as the name suggests, this is a course which looks at the role of women, feminist perspectives, etc., but in the context of the nation, how the nation constructs women and how women play a role in constructing the concept of the nation. So, we look at both interactively, and we do this through several blocks. In block 1 and 2 specifically, we are talking about the concept of the nation, theories about the nation, nation and imagination, interrogating the whole concept of the nation, etc. In block 3, we look at gender, sexuality and the nation, and block 4 is about violation, marginalization and militarization. Here we will look at issues such as violence, etc. Then the next course is MWG 007, postmodernism and gender. Postmodernism has played a very important role in terms of its relationships with feminist theories. So, these are some of the issues that you will look at in MWG 007. This course also has several blocks, and in these blocks we will be looking at theories, ideologies and literary texts coming from the postmodern era and looking at it from a feminist perspective. So, in the first block you will get an introduction to postmodernism, that is, what does postmodernism mean. In the second block we will talk about the ideologies of postmodernism, the discourse of postmodernism, but from the perspective again of gender. In the third block we will look at the intersections between postmodernism and postcolonialism, and also some of the tensions between postmodernism and postcolonialism. The first 3 blocks will tend to be more theoretical in nature and conceptual in nature. The second half of the course, blocks 4, 5 and 6, will look more closely at literary texts. So, here you will find examples of literary texts. It could be poems, short stories or novels, where you will be able to then relate the theories that you have read in the first 3 courses and trace those gender perspectives through literary writing, either by women who are postmodern authors, or postmodern texts which represent women's perspectives or feminist perspectives. So, in blocks 4, 5 and 6, we will trace gender in postmodern writing and trace the inscribing of the postmodern subject in postmodern literature. The third course in the gender, literature and culture specialization is MWG 008, gender and life narratives. Why life narratives, you might wonder? It is because memoirs, biographies and autobiographies have given us some of the richest sources of women's thinking and feminist perspectives. As you know, many authors, many women authors even up until the 19th century wrote under male pseudonyms or male pen names. But for some reason memoirs, because perhaps they were considered more personal, and sometimes letters, autobiographies, etc. Here we found that women authors perhaps found themselves more free to express themselves. So, it is a genre which is very interesting when you look at it from a feminist perspective. So, in this course we will first talk about the genre of life narratives, which consist of various forms such as biography, autobiography, memoir, epistolary forms like the letter writing, diaries, etc. In block 2, feminist interventions in some of these areas, and here you look at forms and modes of autobiographies and other life narratives. Block 3, we will connect life narratives with the whole notion of the body, which you would have already read in MWG 004, the gendered bodies and sexualities course. You can now connect some of those ideas with this whole genre of life narratives and how the body is being represented in these writings by women or about women in some cases. And block 4 we will talk about voices from the margins, where we will look at issues of race, class and sexuality in the context of life narratives.
The women's studies specialization, as I have already discussed, has 3+1 common course. In MWG 009, which is women and social structure, which has 6 blocks which start with the conceptualization of social structure and what are the processes which are guiding social structures. Thereafter, we have blocks on family, caste, tribe and religion and their interplay in the rubric of social structure. How do they operate within the society and how they are influencing gender in particular. The next course is women in political processes. Again, this course has 6 blocks which start with feminism and the political. Then the next block traces the historical development of the political processes vis-a-vis women. The third block covers women's agencies in post-independent India. Then the next block covers electoral processes with respect to women. Then the next block, women and political conflict, that how women are situated in a situation of political conflict. The last course for students of women's studies specialization is women in economy. Here we will be situating women with various aspects of economy and how they contribute towards the economy and how their work also remains invisible. The first block covers conceptualizing women's work. The second block takes us through historiographical issues and debates which are there in relation to women's work. The third block covers participation, fourth talks about the issues of migration and fifth deals with legislation, social protection and policies which covers interest of women, especially women workers. And the last block deals with women and globalization. So, this way learner is expected to take up and complete 4 courses to earn a degree as MA in Women's Studies as specialization.
So, these were all of the courses that you would be taking in the first year and the second year of the MA program in Women's and Gender Studies. Of course, as you begin reading the courses and doing the assignments, you may have many queries or questions for us and we are always available for that. You can contact either one of the program coordinators and the emails are given here, anuaneja@ignou.ac.in and Nilima Srivastava@ignou.ac.in and we will always be willing to help you out with your queries. Thank you.